All right, folks, we're just getting situated here in my upstairs man cave. I'm kind of out of my element. Not used to doing live streams up here, but I thought I would try it just to see. But I don't know if this is not showing up everything I want it to show up, so let's go a little bit higher. See if I can get everything in frame, which I think I can now. All right, so I think we're getting there. Don't know about the lighting. We'll see. May need to damper this just a hair. Hey Brian, how you doing? For some reason, I don't know why, it's looking a little blurry on my end. Don't know why. Let me see what it looks like on the computer. Let me fire that up here. Let's see how it's looking. Assuming it shows up for me eventually, which I'm hoping it will do. But the reason why I'm playing this game is on New Year's Day, RJL will start back his inside pitch seasons with 1988. So I thought I would do 1977 just to be different. And this is actually the opening day game from 1977, the Dodgers and the Giants. John Montefiusco against Don Sutton. And again, upstairs, I've got the got my little thing that's supposed to boost the signal up here, but on my computer it's lagging behind, so I'm not able to see the picture. I can see the chat, but I can't see the picture. Hey, Bleacher Bums Gaming, how are you doing, sir? Haven't had a chance to chat with you in a while. Like I said, this is a newer setup where I'm upstairs. Usually I'm downstairs doing these things. I'm recording, not doing them live. But Anthony, I'm glad you were here. Hope you were doing well. So I don't know. Hey, Brad, how you doing? Good to see you as well. I don't know why my thing is not working the way it should be. Let me restart this. Maybe it's just my computer here. Let's see if I can get something going here so I can actually see what you guys are. Now I can finally see what you guys are seeing. About time. Good, no complaints. I can't complain either, Anthony. I'm living day by day and just trying to do the best we can and try to get along with everybody and survive in this world. We are at Dodger Stadium. Let me take a look here on the computer. It doesn't look as blurry on the computer as I thought it did. My eyesight is not the best either. So anyway, I do have the as-played score sheet from Baseball Sim Research, and I've got the players' ratings here as the defensive ratings and their run ratings here, the base running ratings. One thing that kind of baffled me a little bit about the ratings, and I hate to question the ratings of Chris that created the game, but for some reason, I'm not sure why. I'm sure there's a logical reason for it, but for some reason, Davey Lopes is only listed as a 3 base running rating, which is about average, whereas Steve Garvey is a 4. So is Bill Russell. But when I think of Davey Lopes, I think of Davey Lopes being a much faster base runner than Bill Russell and Steve Garvey. But like again, I'm not going to question the ratings. They're there for a reason, I'm sure. So, hey, Dave Gardner, how you doing, sir? Hope you're doing better from your COVID. Like I said, the reason I'm playing this is whet everybody's appetite for RJL. He is unmistakably he is the guru of this game. It's RJL's world, and we just try to live in it sometimes as far as inside pitch goes. All right, Giants and Dodgers, 1977. There you see the lineups for both teams, the bench players that are available, and the bullpen guys that are available as well. And I haven't played this game in a little bit, so hopefully I'm not too rusty either. Hopefully we're not. Don't know what RJL's doing. Maybe he'll pop in and check behind me and make sure I'm not screwing things up. We shall see. On the mound for the Dodgers in this opening game is Don Sutton. And Sutton, 14-8 with a 3.18 ERA. So what I have to do to fit everything in is to put the pitcher over here next to the stadium. That way we can fit the cards in of the potential batters that are coming to the plate. So I want to make sure they don't get cut off. And I think that's about as low as I can get it for the batters to show up. Brian, I'm not sure about the rotation on that, but I know Downing started some games, but I looked at I used retro sheet. I used Diamond Mine Baseball, and it gives me the lineups and it gives me the whole roster, whole 25-man roster for each team. And it also gives me who the future starters are. And Downing, even though he started some games, did not start for a couple games after this, so he is available to throw in the pen. Same, I believe, with John Curtis, who is also a potential starter. One thing interesting in 77 is Chris Spire played maybe about a week with the Giants, and then they had that trade with Montreal for Tim Foley, where they sent Foley to the Giants, and Spire went to the Expos. So Spire actually is carded with the Expos in this game. That's the way Chris does it. He cards the player usually with the team they play with the most, or at least the last. So I'm thinking the most. Thank you, Brian. I do appreciate it. Hopefully, I played it a whole lot in the past, so hopefully it's not, it's not like I'm learning a new game or anything, but when you haven't played something in a while and you've been playing Stratomatic a lot, little things can kind of catch up on you. I do have the handy-dandy chart right here with all the running situations and everything, so hopefully that won't be an issue. So rather than dilly-dally, and like I said, I was just going to record this and not do a live stream, but then I looked online and I didn't see a lot of people streaming right now, so I said, well, maybe I'll try it once just to see what happens. Hey, Tony, how are you doing, sir? Good to see you here. All right, I'm going to try to keep with the chat as best I can. Sometimes, like I said, I'm not used to it, so I will try to keep up, but if I... Oh, somebody wanted their welcome. Okay. Well, I'm sure Trey, to me, it was kind of a tit for tat, but it could be, getting one team getting rid of a headache and another team getting rid of somebody else's headache. So leading off for the Giants will be Gary Thomason. He is playing in center field in this game. And Don Sutton is going to step to the rubber and get this game underway. And just a quick review for anybody, just by chance that hasn't seen the game played at all. The pitcher gets to start, and the pitcher gets to control the action. And if the pitcher can't resolve the at-bat, we go either to the batter card or we go to the stadium card if we get the at signs. So the at signs will take us to the stadium card. Any other thing that does not resolve on the pitcher card, we will go to the batter card. So here we go. Hello, Midlife. How are you doing? No, not a new project. This is a one-off. I'm still trying to finish up my Demolition League. And eventually I want to get back to the Buffalo Bees as well, but I want to really finish up the Demolition League. I got 15 more games for each team to go, so we're getting close to that. And so, yeah, this is just a little one-off to whet everybody's appetite for RJL because he's going to be doing his game on New Year's Day. All right, we'll get things going. We got the blue and white dice for the Dodgers, in case you're curious. All right. And the way I count these, the blue die is the column, and the white die is the row. So a 3-2 would mean I would go here, not 2-3 here. It's a 3-2, just in case you're curious how I do the dice. Most times the colored die is the lead die, and the white die is a trail die, but sometimes people play it differently, but wanted to let everybody know up front that's how I'm doing it. So we're underway. Gary Thomason, 3-3. Well, it doesn't matter. They're both the same number, 3-3. 3-3 is a strikeout chance for Don Sutton. Thomason, against right-handed pitching, strikes out at a 16. Stadium even adds one, makes it a 17. That's a 1. That certainly falls within the 17. So that is a strikeout. And Don Sutton gets the K on Gary Thomason. So Thomason is retired, and that brings up second baseman Rob Andrews. Sutton 4-6. So we go to column 4, row 6, and that's a blank. We get a blank on a pitcher. We just ignore it and go straight to the batter card with a reroll. Some people don't like the fact you got to reroll twice, but I don't find that to be too much of an issue. 5-2. So column 5, row 2, that's a pop up to second, and that's out number 2. So far the first 2 outs are pretty self-explanatory. Nothing earth-shattering to figure those out. But I'm sure I'll run into something eventually that will kind of get me thinking. All right, here is the Mad Dog, Bill Madlock. Of course, he was maybe more well known for being on the Pirates. Of course, he started his career with the Cubs, but then went to the Giants, and then got traded to the Pirates in '79. Sutton 2-5, and that is another strikeout chance. Now, Madlock doesn't strike out very often. He only strikes out against right-handers at a 3. Stadium adds one is a 4. But that is a 3. The D20 cost him again, the evil D20. So the strikeout is there. It's a rare strikeout for Bill Madlock. But there you go. And that's one advantage, big advantage I think this game has over something like Stratomatic. If you roll in the pitcher card and you get a strikeout, the guy strikes out no matter who he is, whether he's Ted Williams or whoever, he's going to strike out. So at least in this game, the batter has a chance to fend off that strikeout to try to avoid it. But in other games, they don't have that opportunity. So it's one of the pluses of this game, I think. All right, so bottom of the first we go. And Davey Lopes, like I said, he's a base running rating of 3, which is kind of a head scratcher to me when Garvey is listed as a base running rating of 4. I mean, Lopes stole 47 bases, and he's got quite a few opportunities for triples on his card. So the 3 there is kind of befuddling, but I've kind of learned. In the past, I've been questioning these creators' ratings, but I'm not going to question Chris's stuff now. I'm just going to go with it as it is. So the Count Montefusco, 7-12, 3.49 ERA. So not the best of seasons for the Count, but he's going to see if he can keep the Dodgers down for the Count on this one. 5-6. 5-6 is a blank, which means it goes straight to Davey Lopes' card. 2-6, and that's a ground ball to third. Madlock is there, 1 away. So 1 down. And that's going to take us to Bill Russell. And as you can see, Bill Russell has a base running of 4, which is more than Lopes. But he did steal 16 bases, so he did have a little bit of speed. But still, I remember Davey Lopes being one of the top base stealers of his time. So anyway, not to belabor that point. Probably already beat the dead horse on that one. Montefusco 1-6. That's a possible error on a throw. So we go to Bill Russell's card. And if his result requires a throw, then we'll check for an error. If it does not require a throw, there will be no error to worry about. So we go to Bill Russell's card and see if he does something that requires a throw, like a ground out or something. 1-1. It is a ground out to first. So now that means we are going to have a throw by the first baseman, Willie McCovey. Willie McCovey, if we look at his rating for an error, his error rating is a 9. So if the D20 is a 9 or less, it will be an error. The D20, however, is 16. So Willie McCovey this time was able to get it over to Montefusco covering and avoid an error. It'll go 3-1 as Stretch makes the play over to Montefusco for out number 2. And that'll bring up switch hitting Reggie Smith. He was one of the 4 players that had 30 home runs or more on the season for the Dodgers in '77. 1-1 for Montefusco. Now that is a S1, which is a single, but it's in parentheses. That result is only used when Montefusco has exceeded his batters faced. Of course, he's only faced 2 batters so far, so obviously that's not into play. It turns into a blank when it's not effective, or when it's not relevant. It turns into a blank. So we go now to Reggie Smith. 2-5, and that is a star line 5. So he is out, but we don't know what kind of an out yet. We have to go to Montefusco for that. So we go back up to Montefusco to his star line to the number 5, and we see it's a ground ball to short. So ground ball to short, easy play there for Spire, and the inning is over. So it's a 1-2-3 inning for both pitchers here in the first. And after 1 complete from Dodger Stadium, we have no score. between the Giants and the Dodgers. So hopefully the offense will pick up. We shall see. Don Sutton back out, and he'll be facing Stretch, Willie McCovey, kind of near the end of his career. In fact, I think this was his final season in the majors. He may have played for Oakland after this, I'm not sure. But he's very near the end of his career. You can see his range is only a 1. He did hit 280 with 28 home runs, so certainly still a dangerous hitter even later in his career. Sutton, 3-2, and how about that? He found the home run chance right here. So that means it's a possible home run. We have to go to Willie McCovey's card against a right-hander. That's a 20, so even though that's a 19, that fits. The 20, the 19 fits inside that 20s. That means whenever a home run comes up off a pitcher for Willie McCovey that's right-handed, he will always hit the home run unless the stadium happens to change it. Most stadiums do not. So that ball is gone, as RJL would say, kaboom. And Willie McCovey, Stretch, has... Actually, that was not Stretch. My bad. I was showing Stretch for the defense, and it was actually Darrell Evans. So my bad. I got overexcited. My bad. Hit the rewind button on that one. It's actually Darrell Evans at bat. It's a good thing I'm keeping score. Darrell Evans is actually the hitter because Madlock made the previous out. So it's not McCovey. It is Darrell Evans. He's got a 14, but that's a 19. So that means it is not a home run. So Darrell Evans will not get the home run, but he's not out. He still gets the swing. So we go to Darrell Evans' card to swing. And that's a 2-1, which is a star line 6. Go to Sutton. On his star line, a 6 is a fly ball to right field for 1 away. So Darrell Evans feels cheated, but that's just the way it is. He flies deep to right. Reggie Smith puts it away. 1 down, and now Stretch gets to come up. And Stretch is like, please roll that same roll again for me. So we'll try. 4-5 is not going to happen. 4-5 is actually a strikeout chance. He strikes out against right-handers at a 15. Stadium adds 1, makes it a 16. That 15 fits, so McCovey is out on strikes. So talk about going from feast to famine. Thought he had a home run, and he ends up striking out. 2 down for Terry Whitfield, who's, again, one of these players that was a platoon player. So even though he had 326 at-bats, he did not have enough at-bats against left-handers to be rated as a split card. This is a generic cookie cutter card, so he will do the same against righties and lefties either way. So I guess, to be realistic, make sure you play him only against righties. Don't try to cheat and play him against lefties. Sutton, 6-3. That is a range play. So we go to Whitfield's card, and whatever the result is, it'll be a range play based on that. It's a 2-4. That is a fly ball to right field. So we got a range play for Reggie Smith in right field. We go to Reggie Smith's card. He is a range of 3. So we're going to roll, and if we get a 1, 2, or 3, Reggie Smith will make the catch. 4, 5, or 6, it will drop. It's a 4, it's going to drop. Now we need to see if it's a single or a double. If we roll a 5 or a 6, it'll be a double. Anything else will be a single. That's the single. So Terry Whitfield becomes the first base runner of the game as he singles out of the reach of Reggie Smith. Failed range play. And there is the first base run of the game. And Chris Spire is up, and again, like I mentioned, he got traded to Montreal very early in the season, and he is carded with Montreal. So get that weirdness of having the different uniform color in there, but that's what it is. Now we got runners on base. We get to go to our strategy rolls for the first time. Strategy rolls will determine things like balks, pickoffs, stolen bases, wild pitches, pass balls, things like that. So the attempt to steal of Terry Whitfield is a 1. But Don Sutton adds 1 to that with this +1 hold. So that means if we roll a 1 or a 2, Terry Whitfield can steal. If we roll a 20, then we got to check for balk or pickoff. But anything other than a 1, 2, or a 20, then nothing will happen. And that's a 12, so nothing happens. All right, so now Sutton will pitch to Chris Spire. 6-6, that's a strikeout chance. That's a 2. Spire's a 9, plus the 1 is a 10. The 2 easily fits, and Spire is out on strikes. And Don Sutton picks up strikeout number 4 in just 2 innings. And they leave Whitfield on first to end the inning. We go to the bottom of the second. No score from Dodger Stadium. And the count, Montefiusco's back out. It's going to face the Penguin, Ron Cey, to lead things off. Hope everybody's having a wonderful Thursday night. 2023 is almost upon us. Montefiusco 5-4. And against a right-handed hitter, Ron Cey, this line means it's a split chance. Anything to the right of the line applies to a right-handed batter. Anything to the left of the line applies to a left-handed batter. Cey's right-handed, so we look at the right side of the slash, which is a walk plus. So what we're going to do here is we'll take Cey's walk rating and add 10 to it. When you do the plus, you add 10 to it. So he's no longer a 17. He becomes a 27. Minus 1 from the stadium's a 26. So even though it's a 16, the plus gives him that walk. So the Penguin will waddle down to first base with a leadoff walk. First base runner for the Dodgers. And again, strategy roll will be employed. Cey's attempt is a 1, but Montefiusco not good at holding runners. It's a +3. So we've got a 4. 1 to 4, he will be able to take a chance of stealing a base. That's a 20. That's going to involve or invoke the potential balk and pickoff. Well, Montefiusco has no balk rating, but he does have 1 pickoff and a 2 for pickoff error. So if we roll a 1, Cey is picked off. 2 is a pickoff error, Cey takes second base. Anything other than a 1 or 2, we ignore it, and he just say that Cey gets back in time. That's a 20 again, so nothing happened, he got back in time. So that brings up Steve Garvey. Again, Garvey now with a 4 for his base running rating, even though he only stole 9 bases. So again, interesting. Infield is halfway for the double play, which will increase the double play rating, but it will reduce the range of the infielders by 1. So we have to keep an eye on that. Montefiusco 3-2, and that is a strikeout chance. And against righties, he strikes out at an 8, plus 1's a 9, but that's a 1. So 1's going to fit every time, and Mr. Garvey is out on strikes. So 1 down, and that brings up Rick Monday. And again, back to the strategy roll to see if anything happens. It does not. So now Rick Monday is up. Even though it's a Thursday, we got Rick Monday. 1-3, and that's a potential wild pitch. Now his wild pitch rating is 1 to 10, and a possible pass ball is 11 to 13. That's a 4, which means he uncorks the wild pitch. Mark Hill, the catcher, had no chance, and Ron Cey will take second base. Tony, I do as well. Like I said, I look at these ratings now, instead of complaining about them, I just kind of scratch my head and wonder, there's got to be something in the game engine that causes that. And I just move on and enjoy the game, like you said. Strategy roll again, nothing happening this time. So now Montefiusco to Monday. That's a 5-2, and that's a home run question mark. Means a possible home run chance for Rick Monday. Rick Monday's a left-handed batter, so in order for this to be a home run chance, the D20 has to be between 1 and 6. It is a 3, so it passes that check. So now we go to Rick Monday. Rick Monday's home run rating against a right-handed batter is a 13. If this D20 is a 1 through 13, it's a 2-run homer. If it's a 14 or higher, then we re-roll for the at-bat to finish the at-bat. But 1 to 13, it is gone. Kaboom! Rick Monday. A 2-run bomb off of the count. And Rick Monday has given the Dodgers a 2-0 lead here in the bottom of the second inning as he just blasted that one off the count. He made that at-bat count for sure. It is 2-0, and Mr. Tommy Lasorda is very happy right now. Yep, Mr. Gardner, that's all it's all about. It's a hobby. That's why you're supposed to have fun. It's not supposed to be stressful. It's not supposed to be anything to get an argument about. It's just have fun. And if you want to tweak the rules to suit your game, go for it. Montefiusco, 4-6, trying to rebound from the dinger he just gave up. Well, he might have a chance. That's a strikeout possibility, Baker strikes out at a 10 plus the one's an 11, but that's a 19, so no strikeout. Baker will fend off the strikeout and get to swing himself. 3-4 is going to be a ground ball to short, though, so that's out number 2 as Spire makes the play. And that'll bring up the catcher, Steve Yeager. Maybe more well known for being in the movie Major League than he is for being a Dodger catcher. I don't know. Here's Montefiusco, 2-1. And again, it's another right-left split chance. Yeager's a righty, so we come to this. We could use the right side, which is a walk plus. So we take his walk of 11, add 10 to it, make it 21. Subtract 1 makes it a 20. The 8 easily fits that. So Steve Yeager will draw the 2-out walk. And what that will do is allow Don Sutton to bat and clear him so that Lopes can lead off the next inning at worst case scenario. Although Sutton is not an automatic out, he did hit a $151. Double D, you're probably right, but I just think Lopes going like from first to third or second to home would have a higher rating, but that's just my observation just at a glance from knowing how fast he was watching him play. But like I said, I'm sure Chris has a reason for it. So, we kind of took me aback a second when I saw it, but like I said, it's got to be a reason. So, all right, strategy roll with the runner on. 20, chance of a pickoff. So 1 is a pickoff, 2 is a pickoff error. Anything else, and Yeager will get back. He gets back, so nothing happened. So Sutton will swing away with 2 outs. Montefiusco, 1-1, and he's not tired, so there's no single there. So we go straight to Sutton's card. 4-1, he's going to ground it to second, and with 2 outs, we'll just say he throws to first to get the final out. So Andrews will flip it over to McCovey, and that will end the inning. But not before Rick Monday puts the Dodgers ahead with a 2-run blast. We go to the third. It is the Dodgers 2, Giants nothing. And Don Sutton, the beneficiary of the 2-run blast. We'll try to see if he can't make it stand up. Mark Hill, the catcher, will lead off, followed by Montefiusco and Gary Thomason. That's interesting, Brian B. I don't think it's a typo. I think it's just whatever he uses for his numbers, I guess, just made it go that way. So, like I said, we'll just play with it. Just go with it. Sutton, 6-3. That is a range play. So we're going to Mark Hill for a range play. 4-4. That is a fly ball to left field. So we're checking the range of Dusty Baker. So we get Dusty Baker's card out here. Check his range. He is only a 2, so this could drop. This has to be a 1 or a 2 for him to make the catch. He does not. Let's see if it's a single or a double. It's a 1, so it's only going to be a single for Mark Hill, but he gets the beneficiary of a bad jump there by Dusty Baker. So the single drops, and now this allows a perfect bunt attempt for Montefiusco with the pitcher up and a runner at first and nobody out. So to execute the bunt, there is a bunt chart here on the board. Actually, it's over on this side, my bad. Right here with the bunt rating and the bunts. His bunt rating is a 2, but the corners are in. That drops him to a 1. So, but the first thing you got to do is check and make sure he doesn't strike out, because Sutton could very easily strike him out. But even before that, we check to see if there's a strategy roll for a pickoff. So there's a lot of checks there to do. 15, nothing happened. All right, so Sutton will pitch first of all. 1-5, that's a strikeout chance. So Montefiusco may strike out and not even get a chance to bunt. Now, when you're bunting, when you're up there to bunt, it says here on the thing here, you cut the strikeout chances in half and round down. So 33, cut it in half, it's a 16.5. You round down to a 16. Stadium adds 1, makes it a 17. But since 7 is less than 17, even though it's cut in half, he's still going to strike out. So couldn't get the bunt down. We'll say he fouls off strike 3, which counts as a official strikeout. 1 away, he couldn't get the job done, couldn't help his own cause. So now Gary Thomason, we'll see what he can do. Again, strategy roll. Nothing happening. So Don Sutton. 4-1, and that is a strikeout chance again. He's a 16, plus 1's a 17. That's a 15. 15 is less than the 17, so it is another strikeout. And Don Sutton now has 6 strikeouts already in just 2 2/3 innings. And that brings up Rob Andrews. Strategy roll, nothing happening. Sutton, 4-2, and that's the ballpark card. So we get the @ sign, 4-2. @ sign sends us to the ballpark card. We ignore Rob Andrews' card for now, go straight to the ballpark card. Dodger Stadium had 161 home runs, probably because they had 4 guys that hit 30 home runs, probably part of that. But there's a lot of home run chances on the card for the park. We get a 5-4, and a 5-4 is a home run to the opposite field. Possible. It's not guaranteed. It's possible. Rob Andrews, though, is a 0. He has no power, so he did not hit any home runs all year. So he does not hit a home run here. Instead, he flies out to the opposite field. He's a righty, so he flies out to right field, and that's going to end the inning. So Sutton caught a break there that he faced a guy that, or rolled that result for a guy that hit no home runs on the season, so he didn't have to worry about anything. So that's going to end the inning. And the Giants leave a man on, go to the bottom of the third, still 2-0. And Davey Lopes will lead things off here in the bottom of the third against the count. 3-6. 3-6 is a strikeout chance. He's an 8 against righties. Plus 1 makes him a 9, but that's 19. It fails to check. So we skip it, count as a blank, and go to Davey Lopes' card to finish the at-bat. 1-6, he's going to line it hard, but right to McCovey for out number 1. So 1 down for Bill Russell. 5-4, and a 5-4 again, split chance. He is a righty, so we're going to the right-hand side. He must have walked a lot of right-handed guys because he's got the walk plus on 2 of these splits. And that, again, is another walk plus. He walks at a 6. Stadium takes away 1, makes it a 5, but the plus gives him a 15. That's a 14. So because of the plus, that will walk Russell. Without the plus, that would not have been a walk. But the plus gives it to him. So a 1-out walk to Russell will bring up Reggie Smith, and strategy roll for Montefusco, nothing happening. Montefusco, the infield is halfway looking for the double play. 3-4. 3-4 is a strikeout possibility. Reggie Smith against righty strikes out a 9, plus 1's a 10. That's a 7. It fits. And Reggie Smith with the whiff for out number 2. So Smith is retired, and that's going to bring up Ron Say. The Penguin. Again, strategy roll. 20, so chance of a pickoff, a 1 for a pickoff and a 2 for a pickoff error. It's a 9, so Russell gets back with no incident. Montefusco, 6-3 is a blank, so we're going to go to Ron Say to finish the at-bat. 4-6, that's a single pass short. Now we go to the base running, which when you get an infield single is pretty self-explanatory. We got an wrong side. We got an S6. S6. To get from first to third, you have to have a 5 or a 6 base running rating. Russell's rating is a 4, but there are 2 outs, which makes him a 5, which means he will take third base. So Russell is at third on the single by Ron Say because of the fact it was 2 outs. Had there not been 2 outs, he would have had to hold. But since there were 2 outs and his base running rating got a boost to a 5, he makes it. So runners are at the corners with 2 down for Steve Garvey. Now the strategy roll, nothing happening. If I can get something focused a little bit better, maybe. I don't know. I don't know if that was going to help or not. Probably didn't. Might have made it worse. I don't know. All right. Montefiusco. 1-3. That's a wild pitch chance. And he's a wild pitch rating of 1 to 10. That's a 7. It will be a wild pitch. Russell will come in to score. And Ron Say will take second base. So a run comes in for the Dodgers on the wild pitch. And the Dodgers now take a 3-0 lead. Second wild pitch of the game by Montefiusco as he's got Mark Hill running all over the place, unable to stop anything from going on. Strategy roll, 20, so chance again of a pickoff or a pickoff error. But nothing happening. All right, Garvey. 1-6. That is a possible error on a throw if a throw is needed. 1-2. That's a star 3, which is a ground ball to second. So there will be a throw required by Rob Andrews. Check Rob Andrews' error rating. It is a 10. That is a 10. So this will be a throwing error. Now, to figure out the throwing error and how many bases you get, you have to look at the range of the guy receiving the throw. The range of the guy receiving the throw, unfortunately for the Giants, is Mr. Willie McCovey, and his range is only a 1. So unless this next roll is a 1, a run will score. And it will score. So you're going to get the extra base. Garvey will not only reach first on the errant throw, but he'll take second on that errant throw. And Ron Say will come in to score. It is now 4-0 Dodgers on the costly error by Rob Andrews as he couldn't get it done. And it is 4-0 favor of the men in blue. So Rick Mundy now will step to the plate with a 4-0 score. Strategy roll, nothing happening. Let's turn this light off and see if that maybe there's too much glare on there. Let me try this. I'm going to try something different here and see if that helps. It might help, it might be worse. We'll see. Can't really tell. It might be better, it might not be. We'll go with it. All right, so 5-5 on Montefiusco is a strikeout chance. There's also a parentheses W. That comes into play if he's tired. He has not faced 27 batters, and he has not given up enough runs to be tired. So that is a strikeout opportunity. Rick Mundy strikes out at a 19, plus 1 from the stadium is a 20, so that's going to be a strikeout to end the inning. But not before another run scores. And a costly 2-base error by Rob Andrews allows the Dodgers to get that extra run. So we go to the top of the fourth, 4-0 favor of the Dodgers, which is not unexpected. The Dodgers won this game 5-1 in real life. And Don Sutton's a very tough pitcher, so Giants having trouble trying to score. And the fielding's not helping the pitching staff either. Better. Okay, that's good. I'll leave it that way then. All right, here we go. Don Sutton facing the Mad Dog, Bill Matlock, to start the fourth. 1-6 strikeout chance. Again, there's that W, but he's not tired, so the strikeout is what we're checking for. He only strikes out at a 3. Stadium adds one's a 4. That's a 5, so he avoids the strikeout. He couldn't avoid it the first time, but he avoids it this time, and he'll get the swing. 3-4, but he won't do any better. He's going to pop it to second. Davey Lopes right there, 1 away. But at least he avoided the strikeout. Here's Darrell Evans. Sutton, 1-6 again, same roll, another strikeout chance. But Evans only an 8 on a strikeout. That's a 13, so he fends that off. And Evans will swing 5-5, pops to first, so 2 pop-outs. Sutton doesn't get the strikeouts, but he gets 2 easy pop-outs for 2 quick outs. And it's going to bring up stretch, Willie McCovey. 3-2, that's a home run chance, straight up. And this time McCovey, we kind of teased it last time because they were out of order, but this time it fits. Willie McCovey kaboom, puts the Giants on the board. Stretch puts one over the fence. Reggie Smith can only look at it, and the Giants are finally on the board. That 20 home run is going to be good every time, unless the stadium happens to, you're in the Astrodome or something, and it subtracts something, but not this time. It's a good home run for Willie McCovey. Cuts the lead to 4-1. Now here's Terry Whitfield, the right fielder, with 2 outs and the base is clear. Sutton, 3-4, and that is a blank, so we go to Whitfield's card. 2-1, that's going to be a single to center field, so Whitfield keeps it going. A 2-out single for Mr. Whitfield. His attempt is a 1. +1 from Sutton gives him an attempt of 2. That's a 1, so Whitfield has the opportunity to steal if he wishes. He's only stolen base. He only stole 2 all year. He's an 8 here. Sutton gives him a +1 to make him a 9. And then you got to look at Yeager's arm. Yeager is a 0 on his arm. So it's a 1 to 9, 45% chance to get into scoring position with 2 outs. Down 4-1, but you do have the bottom portion of the order coming up. Inspire, not really much for extra base hits, but if you get in the scoring position, he can drive him in. So they're going to take a chance. 1 to 9. I know it's slightly against the odds, but we're going to do the old Phil Collins against all odds and see if we can't get him to second base. 1 to 9, he'll do it. And, of course, he's thrown out. So being a little bit greedy and maybe a little careless, but he got thrown out. If it hadn't been 2 outs, I wouldn't have done it, but it seemed like a good idea at the time. But Mr. Whitfield is caught stealing as Lopes put on the tag. That's going to end the inning. A home run by Stretch, though, gets the Giants on the board, cuts the lead to 4-1. And now the Dodgers will be sending out Dusty Baker, Steve Yeager, and Don Sutton. Samana Fusco has so far he's faced 18 batters. He can face 27 before he gets tired. So he's still good to go. 3-2, strikeout chance. Baker's a 10, +1's an 11. That's a 7. It fits. Baker down on strikes. Baker is gone, 1 away. And that's going to bring up Steve Yeager, the Yeagermeister. 1-6, possible error on a throw if a throw is required. 4-4, that is a single to right. Base hit by Yeager. No throw is required because there are no base runners that are trying for extra bases. So it's simply going to be a single to right. 1 away, and that brings up Don Sutton, the pitcher. He is a 3 bunt rating. He would be a 2 bunt rating with the corners in. But I think it's probably a good gamble to go ahead and do that. First of all, roll for strategy, check for pickoff. And nothing's happening. So now we're going to see if Sutton can avoid a strikeout and get the bunt down. On a Fusco, 4-3, that's a hit by pitch chance. Well, Sutton has a 0 and he has a 0, so there's no hit by pitch. So that means Sutton's going to get a chance to bunt. So when you bunt, you're going to do the D20 and a D6. The D6 tells you who fields it. The D20 tells you whether it's a good bunt or not. He's a 2. So we're going to check the 2 column once we roll this. We get a 2. Oops, that was a 2. I bumped it with my hand. A 2 and a 2 is a good bunt. Good bunt, so its sacrifice is there. The white die is a 6, which says it's the catcher. So in this case, Mark Hill pounces out and gets it. Only play is to first as he throws to Rob Andrews covering. It's actually going to go 2-4 on the sacrifice as the corners were charging. Yeager now takes second base with 2 down. And it brings up the top of the order and Mr. Lopes. Lopes on the ball game is 0 for 2. Grounded to third in the first inning, lined to first in the third inning. Strategy roll for Montefiusco. Nothing happening. 3-2, that's a strikeout chance. He's a 8, +1's a 9, but 13 does not fit, so Lopes gets to swing. 1-3 is going to ground to short, and that's going to end the inning as Spire will retire Mr. Lopes on a 6-3 ground out to end the inning. At the end of 4, it is the Dodgers still holding a 4-1 lead over the Giants. As we go to the 5th, and Mr. Sutton back out, will be facing bottom portion of the order, Spire, Hill, and Montefusco. Due up for the G-men. Spire struck out his first chance. 6-3 is a range play. So we go to Spire's card to check range. 4-4. That is a ground ball right back to Sutton. His range is a 2. 1 or 2, he makes the play. 3, 4, 5, or 6, it's going to get through for a base hit. It gets through for a base hit. So Chris Spire sneaks one past Don Sutton right up the chute. And he gets a leadoff single. And it's actually going to be where did my Mark Hill go? Oh, there he is. I think I took him out to show something on defense. There he is, Mark Hill. He's going to come up. Sutton on the strategy. Nothing happening. Infield is at double play depth. 3-2, and that is a home run chance again. Sutton's found that role several times. Against a right-handed pitcher, Mark Hill's home run rating is only an 8, whereas here it's a 17. However, that's a 3, so kaboom, that is a 2-run homer for Mark Hill, a 2-run shot, and all of a sudden the Giants are right back in the game at 4-3, and the gopher ball has hit Mr. Sutton again. He was susceptible to home runs in his career, and it came to fruition right there. So Don Sutton gives up the 2-run bomb. It's 4-3. Giants were right back in the game. Here's Montefusco. Sutton 5-1 blank. We go to Montefusco's card. 2-3, and he's going to ground it to short, and that's out number 1. So Montefusco is retired. The order flips over to Thomason. But all of a sudden, Giants right back in the game 4-3. Lasorda's looking a little nervous. Sutton 1-4. That's a hit by pitch chance. He's a -3. Thomason hit by pitch is a 1. That's a -2, so cannot be hit by the pitch. So we go to Thomason to finish. 4-6. He's going to line it hard right at Sutton, who snags it for out number 2. Sutton with the quick reflexes, and a 2 down for Rob Andrews. Sutton 2-1. That's a star line. That is an automatic out on a pitcher card when you see a star line. So it's automatic out. We just have to figure out what kind of out it is. So we roll 1d6 and compare the number to the star line number. That's a 1, which means he grounds it to third. So Ron Say is there to make the play. And the inning's over, but damage done. 2-run homer off the bat of catcher Mark Hill. Not exactly your household name for home runs, but he did it. And we go to the bottom of the 5th. It is 4-3 now. And it'll be the heart of the order for the Dodgers. It'll be Russell, Smith, and Say against Montefusco. Montefusco has faced 19 batters. He can face 27, so he's still in good shape as far as fatigue. Montefusco 4-5, and that is a potential walk. We go to Russell's card. He only walks at a 6. Stadium takes away 1, makes it a 5. That is a 5, though, so Russell will still garner the walk due to the low D20. Second walk that Russell has drawn. He's aboard. His attempt is a 3. Plus 3 for Montefusco makes his attempt a 6. 11 is not going to happen, so nothing going on. Infield halfway. Here is Montefusco. 1-6. That's a possible error on a throw if the throw is needed. 5-2, and that is a star line 4, which is a ground ball to third. So possible error on a throw on a ground ball to third. But that is a 16. The third baseman error rating, Matlock, is an 11. That is a 13. I'm sorry, a 16, so it does not fall into that. So we're going to see if there's a potential double play. They were halfway, which increases the double play rating by 1. double play rating of Smith is a 2. That makes it a 3. But Montefusco is a -1. Drops it back down to a 2. The pivot on a ground ball to third, the pivot is the second baseman, Rob Andrews. His pivot is a 0. So it's a 1 to 2 for a double play. Anything else? We don't get the double play. That's a 1. It will be a double play around the horn, 5-4-3. And that's going to be 2 quick outs turned by the Giants as Madlock to Andrews to McCovey rings them up, 5-4-3 double play. First double play of the game by either team. Ron Say, the batter, now with 2 outs and the bases clear. To 10, nothing happening on the strat. Actually, I didn't even need the strategy roll because nobody's on base. All right, here's Montefusco, 5-6. That's a blank. Go to Ron Say. 1-6. It's a ground ball to third, and again, Madlock is there, and the inning's over. So 5 complete are in the book, or in the books rather, and it's a 4-3 ball game. So nip and tuck all of a sudden after it looked like the Dodgers are going to run away with it. It is now nip and tuck. And Don Sutton back out, trying to avoid the gopher ball. He's going to be facing heart of the order, Madlock, Evans, and McCovey. Definitely got to be careful. 6-3 is a range play. We're going to Madlock's card for a range check. 2-3. 2-3 is a question mark 9. So here's where you have to do 2 separate entities. Before you check for range, we got to see if this drops for a hit. So question mark 9 means it's a drive out to right field, and we're going to see based on his card whether he gets the hit or whether it's an out. On against right-handed pitching, his question mark results 1-5 are a single, 6-11 is a double. That's an 8. So that would be a double to right field, except it's a range play. Reggie Smith can take this double away. His range for Reggie Smith is a 3. So a 1, 2, or 3, and he takes the double away from Mad Dog. 4, 5, or 6, it will drop for a double. It's a 3, so Reggie Smith takes that double away and says, "Not so fast, Mr. Madlock." And that's one of the neat things about this game is the range check. I love the range, how the range check works. Either takes away hits or gives hits. So here's Darrell Evans, 5-4. Now another split chance, this one on Sutton. And this one, Evans is the left side of the slash, which is a star line. So that means Evans is out. We got to figure out how he's out. That's a 6, says he flies to right. So 2 consecutive outs. Sutton is primarily a ground ball pitcher because 4 of his 6 star line outs are ground balls. 2 of them are fly outs. So he's a slightly more ground ball pitcher than fly ball pitcher. But in this case, it was a fly out. So here's McCovey. 2-6, and again, a split chance. If he's facing a righty, we check for a strikeout. But since he's facing the lefty McCovey, we check for a walk. McCovey walks an 11. -1's a 10. That's a 20. It fails. So McCovey does not walk, but he will get to swing. 6-4, and it's a star 3, which is a ground ball to second. So Lopes puts it away, and the inning is over. So we go to the bottom of the 6th. Still 4-3 in favor of the Dodger Blue. Don Sutton coaxing his way through 6 innings. Montefusco is out now. Montefusco has faced 22 batters. He can face 27, so this is probably going to be his last inning, most likely. He'll be facing Mr. Garvey. Garvey struck out and reached on a 2-base error by Rob Andrews last time. 6-4, that is a strikeout chance. He's an 8, +1's a 9. That's a 7. It fits. Garvey is out of there on strikes again. So Garvey is retired. 1 away for Mr. Rick Monday. And Monday homered, hit a 2-run homer back in the 2nd inning that gave the Dodgers the initial lead. 6-3 is a blank. We go to Monday. 3-3, and that's a single right past the pitcher. So Rick Monday with another hit. Monday is 2 for 3. And that brings up Mr. Dusty Baker. Monday's attempt is a 1, but again, the +3 from Montefusco will make him a 4. But an 8 does not fit, so nothing happening. Infield is halfway for the double play. Montefusco 5-2. That's a home run question mark. Baker's a righty, so to make it fit, it has to be a 1 through 10 on the D20. That's a 9. It fits. So now we go to Dusty Baker. Well, we don't even have to roll it because Baker's a 20. So kaboom, Dusty Baker, a 2-run bomb. And that may be the beginning of the end for Mr. Montefusco as the count gets counted on that one by Dusty Baker. 2-run bomb. It is 6-3. And I believe that's going to be it for Mr. Montefusco. Joe Altobelli cannot take any more, so Montefusco will be heading to the showers as his day is done, or night is done, depending on how you want to look at it. So we look at the bullpen for the Giants. They have Cornut, Moffitt, Williams, Curtis, and Lavelle. Coming up for the Dodgers, we have Yeager and Sutton and Lopes, 3 righties. So they will go to a righty, and it will be Mr. Cornut. Terry Cornut will be the new pitcher for the Giants as soon as I get his card. Terry Cornut. There's Mr. Cornut. He was 1-2 with a 3.86 earned run average in 44 1/3 innings. So Mr. Cornut will step in and see what he can do against Mr. Yeager with 1 out. Oh, Mundy is not on base anymore because of the home run by Baker. All right, so Yeager, 3-3 off Cornut, and again, split chance. Lefty-righty. Yeager's a righty. That's a strikeout opportunity. He's a 13, plus 1's a 14. That's a 10, so it will be a strikeout. 2 down. Yeager is out of there. So Cornut comes in and strikes out the first batter he faces, and now he's going to face Mr. Sutton. 3-6, and that's going to be a blank. To the left of the slash is the walk plus, but Sutton's a righty, so it's a blank. And we go to Sutton's card to finish the at-bat. 2-5, he's going to ground it to third. Madlock is there. The inning is over, but damage done. 2-run homer by Dusty Baker. And we go to the 7th inning. It is now 6-3 Dodgers. They are back to a more comfortable lead for Mr. Sutton. Sutton can face 30 batters before being tired. So far, he has faced 23, so he's still in good shape. It'll be Whitfield, Spire, and Hill. If anybody gets on, a pinch hitter for Cornut. Sutton, 5-5. That is an automatic out. That's star line again. So we roll to see what the star line is. It's a 5, which is a fly to center. So Whitfield flies out to Rick Monday, 1 away. And that'll bring up Mr. Spire in his Montreal uniform. 4-5, and that is a strikeout chance. Spire's a 9, plus the 1 is a 10. That's an 8. It fits. So Spire is out of there. Yet another strikeout for Mr. Sutton. And that'll bring up Mark Hill with 2 outs and the bases clear. Now, Hill did hit a 2-run homer his last time up, very surprisingly. So he's not an automatic out. He did hit 9 homers on the season. 2-5 for Sutton is another strikeout chance. He's a 5, plus 1's a 6, but that's a 1. So he's doomed, and that is another strikeout to end the inning. And Don Sutton, much like Nuke LaLoosh, showing his authority here on the Giants here in the 7th after getting that 6-3 lead. I think that gave him the confidence to do that. And we go to the bottom of the 7th. No 7th inning stretch, and we'll keep going. Hello, Mr. ID. How are you? Saw your game earlier with Fall Classic. I was watching some of that while I was driving. I couldn't chat. I was driving, so... But I did see the 2019 Tampa Bay game with Fall Classic. I didn't get to catch the end of it. I saw the beginning of it, and I saw enough to know that Mr. Without doing any spoilers, Mr. Snell was touched up a little bit. All right. So for the Dodgers, bottom of the seventh, Mr. Lopes is coming up 6-3 Dodgers. Monfusco was knocked out, and Cornut is now in to pitch his second inning of work against Mr. Lopes. 1-2. And as again, a split chance, and the star line is on the right-hand side. Lopes is a righty, so that is an automatic out. What kind of an out? It is a 6, which is a fly to right. So Lopes flies out to Whitfield, 1 down. And that'll bring up Mr. Bill Russell. Cornut, 2-1. It's a blank because we got a slash here. Lefty be a walk plus, but Russell's a righty, so it is a blank. We go to Russell's card to finish. 3-3 is a ground ball to short, and there's 2 away. Of course, be sure to tune in to RJL on Sunday. He is the guru of this game, not only in the way he plays it, but his presentation and all the whole 9 yards. So he'll be doing a thorough teaching demonstration game on New Year's afternoon. I will do that idea. I want to check it out. All right, so Reggie Smith is up with 2 outs and the base is clean. Cornut, 1-5, strikeout chance. He's a 9 against righties, plus 1's a 10, but that's a 15, does not fit. So Reggie will get to swing. 2-4. He's going to ground it to second. Rob Andrews is there to take care of it. And Cornut retires all 5 he faces. So stellar job out of the bullpen for Terry Cornut. But he will come out as he's scheduled to lead off the inning. So he will be lifted after an inning and 2/3 of solid relief. Don Sutton's going to come back out to start the 8th. He has faced 26 batters. He can face 30. So they're going to at least start the inning with Mr. Sutton. But they do have bullpen activity as Elias Sosa is loosening in the bullpen. The right-hander, Elias Sosa, is light tossing in the bullpen. So it is not going to be Thomason. That's my bad. I need a pinch hitter. We need a pinch hitter for Mr. Cornut. And the pinch hitting possibilities are all right here. We got one switch hitter. That should be Thomas, not Thomason. It's actually Daryl Thomas. So I think they're going to go play the odds. Hey, Craig, how you doing? All right, so we're going to the bench. And we're going to get the only guy that can match up as far as platoon advantage-wise, and that is Daryl Thomas. He is the only non-right-handed hitter on the bench. He is a switch hitter. Mr. Thomas, a 267 hitter, so definitely not bad. So he will be used up as a pinch hitter for Mr. Cornut, and then we'll have to get a new pitcher for the Dodgers. I'm sorry, for the Giants in the bottom of the 8th. Probably be Randy Moffett, but we're not sure yet. Sutton, 5-1 is a blank, so we move to Daryl Thomas's card. 3-3, and that's a single to right field. So Daryl Thomas, a pinch hit single. Pinch hit single for Daryl Thomas as he tries to get something started for the Giants. Now, we are in the 8th inning. The number of innings to go is 2. The margin of lead is more than 2, so no strategy rolls are employed once we get this late in the game with the score this bad. So we will not be doing any strategy rolls. We're just going to go ahead and go to the next at bat. Sutton, 5-2. There is a single if he's tired, but he can face 30 batters. This is only batter number 28, so he's not tired. It will be a blank. Had this been batter number 31, that would have been a base hit, but it's not. So Thomason will get to swing instead. 2-4, and that's a ground ball to first. Possible double play. Now, double play rating for Sutton is a 0. Double play rating for Thomason is a 2. With the ball being hit to first, you don't get that boost for the infield being halfway, so it stays a 2. However, Bill Russell's pivot rating is a +1, so that makes it a 3. So 1-3 for a double play. It's a 6. That means runners advance automatically. So the only play that Garvey had was to take it to the bag himself. Kind of juggled a little bit. Lost the chance at the double play, so he just gets the shore out at first base. 3 unassisted, 1 away. And going to second base is Mr. Thomas. So here's Rob Andrews. Again, no strategy roll to worry about. 6-1, and that's a strikeout chance. He's only a 4, though. +1's a 5, but the 9 is out of range. So Andrews will swing. 6-2, it's a star 5, which is a fly to center for out number 2. Now, Thomas is a 4, so he could try to tag up and go to third. There really wouldn't be much benefit to it, but if we wanted to do it to figure out the rating for it, on a fly ball to center field, to get from second to third, you drop 2 from the base running rating, drops him down to a 2, and then the center fielder arm, in this case that is Rick Monday, is a +1, so that would make him a 3. That would mean on a roll of 1, 2, or 3, he would take third. 4 or 5, he would hold. 6, he could possibly be out. So I'll take a chance I'm not going to roll to 6. How about that? I didn't, so he does make it to third base. So Thomas will tag up and take third on that play. But there are now 2 outs. And Mad Dog Bill Madlock is the batter. And this will be batter number 30 for Don Sutton. So he's not tired on this batter. He'll be tired on the next batter. So next batter is where we worry about fatigue. Sutton to Madlock. 4-2. That's the ballpark card, that @ sign. So we're going to Dodger Stadium for the Bill Madlock at bat. 2-6, and he's going to ground it to first, and that's going to end the inning. So in that case, Madlock would have probably been better off to be off his own card, but he got forced onto the Dodger Stadium card, and it did not pay off. So Sutton's going to go 8 innings. He will now be fatigued, so we're going to go ahead and take him out, cap him at 8 innings. And Lasorda will shake his hand, say, job well done. So we go to the bottom of the 8th. We do need a new pitcher for the Giants, and that new pitcher will be Randy Moffett. I believe he had some relation with Billie Jean King at some point back in the day. I don't know if they were married or what the story was, but I seem to remember something with Randy Moffett and Billie Jean King. I just don't know the whole story. I guess you could Google it, or if you remember, you could chime in, but I think something was going on with that. Just wasn't sure what. All right, so it'll be the Penguin Ron Say to lead it off against Mr. Moffett. And actually now Charlie Huff is loosened in the bullpen for the Dodgers to try to come on and save the game in the 9th inning, assuming the Dodgers don't score. If they score, then the save situation will be gone. So we'll see if Moffett can hold the fort. 3-5. That is a strikeout plus chance to a right-hander. So Say is a 9, but the plus makes him a 19. +1 there is a 20, so he is gone. The Penguin out on strikes, 1 away. And that will bring up Mr. Garvey. Garvey, 0 for 2, struck out twice and reached on it. Actually, it's 0 for 3, struck out twice and reached on an error. 6-1, and that's a strikeout chance against a right-hander. Again, that slash is a left-right split. Garvey's a righty. Strikeout possibility. He strikes out an 8, +1's a 9. That's a 1, so he's gone. Garvey again gets the hat trick. 3 strikeouts for Steve Garvey. Not a good game for Mr. Garvey. Mr. Clean, I think they called him. Here's Rick Monday, who's had a good game. Monday is 2 for 3 with a home run, 2 RBI, and 2 runs scored. So offensively, he's probably the player of the game, aside from Sutton's pitching. 5-3 is a blank, so we move on to Rick Monday. Hey, Justin, how you doing? Monday, 1-2 is a ground ball to second, and Mr. Andrews will take care of that to end the inning. And Moffett goes 1-2-3 in the 8th. He'll come back for the 9th if they get to that, but they got to score 3 runs first. So, but I mean, he has the stamina to go another inning if need be. But right now, we will have a new pitcher for the Dodgers, as Sutton has faced 30 batters, and they don't want to have him pitch fatigued, so they will bring in their closer, Charlie Huff, the knuckleballer, 6-12 with 22 saves in 1977. So he will be on to try to finish the deal for the Dodgers. And he will be facing 3 left-handed hitters. So you could have brought in Downing or Wall, but Huff's more the closer, so I don't think it matters to Huff whether you're lefty or righty. Going to play the closer role and go with that. So it'll be Mr. Evans to lead it off. Oh, they were siblings? Oh, okay. I knew there was something I couldn't figure out because I'm sure Billie Jean King is not a real name. She probably has a different name. And like I said, I don't know that much about it. I just remember those two being somehow related or somehow merged together. I just don't know what the whole story was. Huff, 1-3. That is a range play at the ballpark. You got RP with an @ sign. That means we're going to the ballpark, which is what @ signs do. They send us to the ballpark, but it's also going to be a range play at the ballpark. So let's see what happens with that. We get a 1-2. That is a fly to right field, but it is a range check on Reggie Smith. Reggie Smith's range is a 3. So 1, 2, or 3, Reggie Smith will haul it in. 4, 5, or 6, it will drop in. It's a 5. It's going to drop in. Is it a single or a double? 5 or 6 makes it a double. It's a 4, so Evans will get a single to drop in and just out of the reach of Reggie Smith, and the Giants have the first runner aboard. And that'll bring up stretch Willie McCovey. Again, no strategy roll. Huff, 5-5. That's another range play. The infield is halfway, so if we get an infield range check, all infielders will drop by 1 on their rating. McCovey, 5-5 again. That's a fly to right, so again, Reggie Smith gets another chance to redeem himself. 1-3, he'll make the catch. He does this time. So this time Reggie Smith is up to the task, makes the catch, 1 away, and Darrell Evans will have to return to first base. Thinking he might have had something going there, but just didn't work out. Oh, Billie Jean Moffitt is a real name. Thank you, Chuck. I appreciate that. I knew there was something that tied them together. I just couldn't figure out what it was. So I appreciate that. Huff, 5-1 is a possible error. It doesn't matter if it's a throw or not. It's just an E question mark. It means it's a possible error on this play. Whitfield, 6-4. That is a single to short. Okay, now, that's part of the new rules or updated rules in this latest version. When you have an error check on an S6 or an S anything, it becomes a possible infield hit. It says no error check as no error can be made. Roll 1d6 versus the batter's base running rating. So we're going to check Whitfield. He runs at a 3. So let's see if he can beat this out for a hit. It's a 2. So since it's a 2, if the roll is higher, hitter is out. Otherwise, it's a single. So how about that? Whitfield beats out an infield hit. And now the tying run is at the plate in Chris Spire. Of course, the Giants, I think, are going to go to the bench and try to get some pop in the bat because a 3-run homer would tie the game. So if you're thinking like Earl Weaver, we're going to take Chris Spire out of there and bring in Jack Clark. Young slugger Jack Clark will pinch hit. So Jack Clark will get the call. There are no lefties on the bench for hitters for the Giants, so they're going with what they think is their best chance. Jack Clark, 252 average, 13 home runs. So he will hit for Spire, and they'll worry about somebody playing short if it gets to that. They're still down by 3 with 1 out. Clark is a potential double play chance, so you are taking a slight gamble that way. But we'll see how it plays out. Again, still no strategy roll yet. Huff, 2-6. Against a right-hander, that's a blank. Against a lefty, had they had a lefty on the bench, that would have been a star line. But against a right-hander, it's a blank. So Clark will get the swing. 3-1. It's a star 1, which is a ground ball to short, so it is a possible double play. This could be the beginning of the end. He is a 3. They were halfway, makes it a 4. Huff is a -1, though, drops it to a 3. The ground ball goes to short, so the pivot is second base Lopes. He's a 0. So is the 3. 1 to 3, and we have a game-ending double play. Anything else in the game continues. It's a 3. It's all over. It's 6 to 4 to 3. Twin killing, and that's a chance you take when you bring in somebody like Jack Clark. You're going for the bomb, but he is susceptible to the double play. And as it turns out, that's exactly what he did. So 6 to 3 is your final. As Charlie Huff gets the save, Don Sutton gets the win, and the Count Montefusco takes the loss. Player of the game, Rick Monday, 2 for 4. A homer, 2 RBI, and 2 runs scored. I think I'd give that to him above Sutton. Sutton gave up 3 runs in 8 innings, which isn't bad, but it's not. I mean, that's kind of average for Sutton. So I think the 2-run homer that Monday hit in the second inning kind of set the tone. So I'm going to give Monday the player of the game moniker for what it's worth. 6 to 3, Dodgers win it over the Giants. Dodgers win. Dodgers win. Again, hey K-Mac, how you doing? Chuck, nice to see you. Justin, if I didn't say hi to you, hello, Craig. Again, I haven't played inside pitch in a while. I need to get back to doing that because right now I'm playing so much Stratomatic because I'm trying to get through that Demolition League, and I've got through 15 series. So I have 3 series left: Series 16, 17, and 18. And in fact, just as a spoiler, I've got the things already set up for the first game in Series 16. It is the Houston Astros and the Seattle Mariners. So that will be the video for Series 16. And I'll go over the standings and all that stuff too. But this one just a one-off, no 77 replay or anything. All of this is the first game I've played with this set since I bought it. So I bought it because 77 is one of my favorite seasons. Inside pitch is one of my favorite games. I didn't have 77 in inside pitch, so ergo, I decided to get it. I've got 77 in payoff pitch, Stratomatic, History Maker Baseball, and this. So got it all covered, I think, on that. Dodgers win it 6 to 3. The master, the guru of inside pitch, RJL, Robert, will be doing his demonstration game on New Year's afternoon, I think around noontime Eastern. He's going to have the World Series Game 1 between the Dodgers and the A's, 1988 style, getting ready for his 1988 season he's going to be doing, along with his famous 10-minute ticker. Yeah, Sutton would definitely be paid all those guys would pay a lot of money today. And speaking of money, it's kind of interesting about Carlos Correa. He's failed two physicals now. So now the Giants and the Mets apparently have gotten scared off. So we'll see, where he ends up, if anywhere. I'm sure he'll end up somewhere, but just don't know about those physicals. You don't want to pay a lot of money to some guy and have him hurt all the time. So anyway, like I said, I'm kind of out of my element doing the streaming. I'm much more comfortable doing recording. But I just decided on a whim just to go ahead and do something today. I've been playing so much stuff offline lately. Got Action PC, the new Action PC game. I got the new season for Diamond Mine, so I've been messing around with some of those, particularly with Action PC. I've been doing a lot of Action PC stuff, getting everything primed, getting all my pictures loaded and ballparks loaded and all that stuff. So I've been doing that. Been doing some PlayStation stuff. So I've been around. Been busy working. But that's nothing new for a lot of people out there. A lot of people are working every day. So it's just a good escape, I guess, from the stresses of the day. Like I said, I really enjoy playing offline. It's kind of my chance to get away from everything, but sometimes it's good to do this and be able to chat with you guys and give you a chance to chat with each other and so forth. Again, next video on the channel, I don't know what day it'll be, but it'll be the Stratomac Demolition League. It'll be Houston and Seattle 2015 as we wrap up the final 3 series of that season before heading to the playoffs. Again, RJL Sunday at noon, New Year's Day 2023. He'll be doing the the demonstration game, 1988 inside pitch between the Dodgers and the A's. He does a really good job, goes really, really slow. And if you want to know anything about inside pitch, the rules, the idiosyncrasies, the quirks, RJL is your man. I play it a lot, but I don't play it as much as RJL does. So he's kind of got that ingrained in him. Because I think right now it's about the only game he's playing as far as baseball that I've seen on video. He may play games offline, but it's the only ones I've seen on video. Whereas a lot of us, a lot of us rotate from game to game. See, I'm not used to going live or recording because my voice is starting to crack out on me a little bit. All right, so again, Giants win it, or Giants lose it rather, 6-3. Unfortunately, Jack Clark trying to be the hero with a 3-run bomb, but instead hits into the 6-4-3 twin killing off that knuckleball from Charlie Huff. Huff gets the save, Sutton gets the win, and the count, Montefusco is out for the count as he gave up 6 runs in less than 6 innings. So I do appreciate all you guys for tuning in, sharing part of your Thursday night with me, and hope you all have a wonderful new year. If I don't get a chance to talk to any of you between now and then, have a wonderful New Year's Eve. Be safe out there. I want to see everybody back for 2023. Hopefully, if you got some gift cards or something for Christmas, you can cash those in and get some more sets or games or whatever you float your boat. Right now it's about 10:20, so it's almost my bedtime, as I do have to get up early. 10:20 here on the East. All right, in Virginia. So hope you all, again, have a safe, wonderful New Year. Again, tune in to all the guys that stream, no matter what channel it is. Support them, show them that you appreciate them going live and giving us entertainment. I don't even watch TV much anymore. I watch YouTube more than anything else. Whether it's ID or Dave Gardner or Uncle Ron or RJL or any of the other great Al Red Sox fan, any of the great creators out there, I end up watching them more than I do TV. I don't know what it says for me or what it says for what's on TV. But anyway, it's just what I enjoy. So I do appreciate that. Do appreciate you guys tuning in and spending part of your Thursday night with me. Till next time, Dodgers defeat the Giants 6-3. Enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it. And as usual, I will see you all down the road.